It really was. The thing that I really wanted to find out here with the Nate Hobbs tape was, first and foremost, where did he line up? Did he truly line up in the slot all year long? And you can look at the charts and you can go through and look at the spreadsheets. Say, okay, yeah, they're showing slot, slot, slot. It's better to kind of get a feel for it of what they look like on tape. You know what I mean? So here we go. I'm going to have him circled every play. And he did play the slot predominantly last year. I think they said you can go back to 2022 and see where he played outside. But I thought the tape looked pretty good, to be honest with you, man. This was fun. I came away with the Nate Hobbs tape going, okay, to me, it feels like he is slightly better than Keyshawn Nixon. Okay, that's what it feels like. I feel very, very comfortable saying he's a better cornerback than Keyshawn Nixon. Now, he's not like Jair Alexander level, obviously. Well, let's just watch the tape here. All right, so here he is in the nickel. You can see he is in the slot, covering a slot receiver here against the Chargers, it looks like. All right, let's roll the tape. So they're playing a little off coverage here. They'll run a little slant, little shake route. You see him break on the ball. Pretty darn good break right there, boys. Pretty darn good break.
Yeah, buddy.
So, again, this is just him kind of playing zone, and we talked about this. This is what half plays the most. But that is really, really good read and recognition. Eyes on the quarterback. Great job breaking that pass up.
I can't help but watch the feet. Watch his feet as he chops down, and then he explodes as the receiver goes to his break. That's why he's all over it.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed too, Emilio, when I watched this tape the first time, first of all, I had to go through and watch the tape every snap once and then find the clips I wanted and come back to it. You don't see him getting beat over the top much. It seems like he plays things kind of safe, right, and keeps his eye on the quarterback the entire time.
If you have that kind of athleticism where you can spring forward, off your back heels, obviously you're backpedaling, but you got to be able to spring right off there. I was kind of just seeing where the defense was going. It looks like they had kind of cloud coverage outside, but then you had two safeties high, so maybe like a Tampa 2, but you would think that backer was going to carry that vertical a little bit longer. But the fact that he can, you can still man up in a zone, right? Cover 3 match, cover 2 match, whatever it is, you're going to have to play a guy at some point, and that in route is bread and butter right there. If he gets beat, that's a problem.
This to me looks like it might be match. This guy is definitely playing half, right? And this guy, to me, looks like he's playing quarter, and you've got match here.
Okay, I got cover 6 then. I got you.
It's essentially a cover 6 match.
Okay.
And what we mean by that, guys, is this turns into cover 4 up here, and this over here is cover 2.
Right.
4 plus 2 is 6. That's what it looks like. And it looks like everybody's in zone except for the guy who's covering the number 1 up there. You see what I'm saying, Amelia? He's following him, right?
Yep.
So
he's in his hip pocket, and like I said, the edge, the corners on the edge match up to your man. If he goes vert, all right, let's carry him. But if it's right there on an out or an in, take that. Yeah,
for sure. All right, let's move on to the next play. So again, slot rep, good break on the ball, nothing fancy, keeps everything in front of him, right? So here we are now. He's back in the slot again. This is against, I believe, the Carolina Panthers. It looks like. Let's roll that beautiful beam footage and see what we got here. All right, zone again. Get the break on the ball.
Oh,
that should have been a pick. Should have been a pick right there. But look how he kind of baits him. Look how he United baits him here. You see what I did there? Look, it's almost like he's like, I'm just kind of sitting. Nope, got you.
He was playing with him. No, I'm just backpedaling. I'm just trying to get my feet easy. Come on, Sam Darnold.
Terrible read because the guy was open in the flat. Watch.
Yeah, it was the ageless
wide open in the flat.
That was his man too, Tim. His man was the one that's going to be wide open.
It was just bad read by a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see too. Like, let's see what the call is. Yeah, you're no doubt about it. He was probably playing curl flat there. I would imagine. And what that means is you're dropping. If this guy breaks, you should be covering the flat. Now they could have been giving it to him too. I don't know, but again, the thing I focused on is just reading the quarterback, right? Let's see, though. Did he break? The ball's already coming out when he breaks.
Yeah, he's breaking on that ball for sure.
Yeah, so it's not like right there, he's still playing his assignment pretty sound, He just good reaction, man, for sure. All right, so
you want to haul that in, though, right?
Mm-hmm. What's that, Emilio?
I was just saying, do you think that could have been an RPO or that was just play action? Just because that was my only other thought was that top corner. He was already coming downhill anyway. He really didn't even cover that dude. The dude above Nate Hobbs really was just already turning it inside, and paying attention to. He didn't even care about the dude behind him. You know what I mean? Like the safety's got coverage on that guy.
I see what you're saying, trying to figure out if it's an RPO or not, and him just maybe recognizing. To me, though, the proof is with how the line is blocking.
Didn't get upfield. Right.
Yeah, see how they're not really run blocking? They're just kind of pass. I don't know, 63, though, there. Right? Yeah.
Got lost. Shouldn't be up there, bub.
If you're the only one getting to the next level, you probably made a mistake.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right, next play. Let's get into it. Again, in the slot, covering the 2 in this bunch set, right? What I mean by bunch, you got 3.5 diamond pattern, close proximity, and you're going to see he's going to be covering what we call the 2. When you hear me say the 1, 2, and 3, you count outside in. So there's your 1, 2, there's your 3. That's an easy way for people to communicate, coaches to communicate. All right, you're taking the 3 here. If the 3 goes vert, you're taking the 3. If the 2 attacks the flat, you go with the 2. That's what they're referring to when you hear somebody say the 1, 2, or 3. Outside in always. All right, let's roll the tape. So he's covering the 2. Now look at this. Oh, we got a bubble screen. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, block, and this guy's running a bubble screen, okay? So they're just going to look to swing that ball out. The problem is you got a dog right here that's going to sniff this out. Watch Nate. Bang.
Hello.
That's the stuff that he does well. Physical tackler, right? And he's very aggressive towards the ball. What a great tackle, man. Now, Coach Lynn's probably cringing because he did have his head down. They do not teach that, right? But you don't want to lead with the crown and the helmet. But man, that's a stick guy. That's a safety hit right there. That ain't a corner hit.
Mm-hmm. That's a bite the football right there, one. And what we've seen so far, he's not afraid to play on the line of scrimmage. I know everyone was complaining about being deep and 10 yards off the ball and all that stuff. He's not afraid to stick his head in there and also play guys up, up close and personal.
Yeah, and clearly he's effective downhill like this. Once he commits, it's a wrap.
Yeah. So again, to me, the strengths that we're seeing, guys, is quick reactionary break on the ball, right? And he plays with physicality. That's the thing that we're seeing, right?
Yep.
He doesn't look like overly fluid, It's not like, wow, he looks really smooth out there. It's just read and react, keep your eyes on the quarterback, and he attacks the freaking football.
See the little stutter there, too? Like the little stutter here,
start,
and then
shoot,
explode. Baby. Yep, start, stop, shoot. I love it.
Honestly, just an ugly play from Andy Dalton there. Take the quick release. You got everybody screaming at you. Looks like 0 man across the board.
You know what?
Is he still playing football?
He shouldn't be
working at.
He got in a car. Didn't he bust his finger open in a car? That's why Bryce took back over.
You know what we just noticed here too? Yeah. There may have been a mistake, guys. So, it looks like a bubble screen. This guy's going to block, but this guy's kind of running a lookie, right? So I'm wondering if this guy, ran a route when he was supposed to block.
When he was supposed to, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because look at 17's looking for work, right?
Yep.
So it's almost like, when Andy Dalton comes out here and looks, he's thinking, okay, typically the way this works is block, and just the leverage you got on the bubble screen takes this guy out of the equation because he's just going to hit the sideline and get lost in those bodies, right? So the fact that he doesn't block the 2, which is Nate Hobbs, it's probably why Nate Hobbs hesitates. He's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, right.
You understand?
But he kind of went at the dude. I think a lookie was built in there, Clay. Watch how he comes at the guy. I'm around him. You know what I mean? Like he kind of went in on that guy. All right, the bubble could be there. But I think Dalton made a bad read there. That lookie is where you want to go with that. Because look at everybody on the line. You probably got one deep safety, and then everybody else is up on the line.
Yeah. Yep. Coach Lynn in the chat agrees with you. Quarterback has the option to throw the lookie route. So, yeah, if you
which he would have had if he would have threw a little pump fake, maybe held it for another half second.
That's the decision you got to make. Like, if there's a lookie baked in there, then I agree with you, Emilio.
Oh, no, that's everybody on the line. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I think that's everybody right there. I don't even think there's a deep safety.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're right. You gotta throw that lookie. If that's baked in, it sounds like it probably was. Yeah, that's a horrible decision if you've got a lookie and not just 2 receivers blocking.
No safety over the top. That's that double mug. That's that double mug 0 blitz in college football, Clay, right there.
You're running that online all the time, don't you?
All the time.
All right, up next, looky here, boy. Playing a little deeper this time.
Double mug blitz.
So here we go. This is what Emilio's talking about. You count them at the line: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, mugging the heck out of the box. And that leaves you with what? Just 3 guys in coverage. So this has got to be man, right? Unless they're disguising some kind of zone.
Right.
You know? They could be mugging and dropping. Let's see what happens here. So he's covering the 2. Nate Hobbs is, right? Ball snapped. This looks like it's man coverage to me with a little drop underneath, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, a little matchy. But look at the break. Once again, you see him breaking on the ball, right? The ball's out. Pretty darn good ball, too. But, again, people will see this and go, man, he got cooked here. The ball should have been caught, right? Here's the thing, though. Go back to the original play call. Look how many guys are at the line of scrimmage. Now, they drop them out.
Yep.
Oh, they get the D tackle drop.
Yeah, I was going to say they dropped him out, but they dropped TJ Slayton back there to try to catch something.
So, once again, what you see with Nate Hobbs is just playing the defense safe here, right? Keep everything in front of you, break on the ball, make it a hard completion. And good vision and break, which is what Hafley talks about all the time, right? Vision and break.
Yep.
So
he kind of anticipates it a little bit too. I mean, he's if that guy's really kind of throttling down, he's got to go some way, right? He's going either inside or outside. I better be ready to spring on that.
Yeah. All right, next play. So here we are in a goal line situation, babe. We are on the 3-yard line. Now he's covering the 3. It looks like Dump Truck has got the 2 in the tight end. He's got the 3, Nate Hobbs does, and the other corner's got the 1. Let's see if this is man coverage or what. Kind of looks like man, the fact that they walked our boy Spillane out. I think that's Dump Truck Spillane. Mm-hmm. They walk him out on the tight end, which is probably Freiermuth. Let's see what happens. They're probably going to run some kind of rub route, I would imagine. Yep. So you see it setting up. What they're looking to do is just have him sit and run a pick while staring at the quarterback like he didn't run a pick, right? And you got a guy working the inside release. And I think this is Pickens going to try to work outside. So the goal is to get Nate Hobbs caught up in all this traffic right here, right? Let's see how he reacts to it.
Oh, beautiful.
Not bad. Probably should have been a tutter, right? But watch Hobbs the entire time. He does everything he can on this play, and it falls in.
He slipped the defender and his teammate in one motion. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Kind of reminds you of how Keyshawn Nixon plays with good balance, I'm not saying Keyshawn Nixon's a great corner, but one thing about Keyshawn, man, he works really, really well when bodies are around him, just like Jacob does at work, you know what I'm saying? But he does really, really well when there's multiple bodies around. Like he doesn't lose concentration in that regard.
I think if Fields throws a better ball there, it's a tutter.
Yeah. And it does hit him in the hands too. Like, he's expecting that high and outside, and he had to kind of come back to it, didn't he, too? Yeah.
Yep. But great job by Hobbs. I mean, let's not lose the focus here. Like,
still gets a
him even being there, because if he doesn't get through and doesn't slip through there, that's a easy tutter because he's butt naked through the trailer park if he doesn't get home.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Up next, they got another bunch set. This is against the Rams. So you see the bunch. Looks like they're going to run some kind of cheat motion outside here, and it looks like Hobbs is squared up on the 2. And
typically on the line of scrimmage again.
They love that zero mug.
I was going to say they got confidence in their secondary.
All right, so now that they cheated him out, you see he's kind of on the 2 here, right? Look at him just square up, read the quarterback. Oh, look at off the tip drill. Let's go. We off to the races, baby. So, again, this was his interception last year, and you see interception in the stat column, and you think, great, that's awesome. Listen, he did everything he was supposed to do, but this wasn't like a perfect jump the route type pick. The ball was tipped by Spillane, went right into his hands. But, again, look at his break on the ball, vision and break. As soon as the 2 chops it down, he knows where he's going. Bang.
I'll tell you what I like is after the interception, his presence as a ball carrier. Look at him running upfield here. Cuts it in, cuts it back out, back in.
Yeah.
Protecting the football. I love it.
Stafford was just pissed off. Stafford didn't even try to make the tackle. He went after a blocker. Watch Stafford the entire time. Watch this, guys. Look, he doesn't even focus on Hobbs. He's like, I'm going to go over and hit this guy. Come here, you. Bang. Didn't even have the football.
It cost him another 5 yards.
Yeah, right. So, again, there was Nate Hobbs' interception last year. So, can't chalk that up as a great play. You know what I mean? Just kind of tipped into his hands, but I do like the return ability there too, man. He got a little spunk in him for sure. All right, next play. Here we go against the Chiefs. A little bunch nasty set here. You see the half diamond, nasty split inside the numbers. Everybody's nasty across the board. This is what we would call bunch nasty X from the Chiefs' perspective. All right. So once again, he's lining up over the 2. Okay. Hobbs is. And let's see what the play call is. Oh, we got a little smoke screen. See our boy Kelsey? I'll run a little smoke. So they're looking to get a body out here, maybe another body out here somehow to help seal it off. Let's see what happens here to Kelsey. We got Hobbs fighting.
Oh, yeah. Refuse to be blocked. I love it.
It's what he does well, man. Look, he just engages, throws the dude to the side, and makes the tackle.
Oh, beautiful.
I love that the Chiefs dude tried to play it off. Like, no, come on, Travis. We're going up to – oh.
Yeah, right. And that's what you call a smoke screen there, guys. Rather than a bubble, you just kind of step back, take the screen, get a couple blockers out in front. Nate Hobbs blows it. That's how you're taught.
I mean, Hobbs basically blocked the one guy into his teammate right here. Yeah. Bang, bang. So you're winning the hat count right there just off of what Hobbs is doing.
That's what you're taught to do on those smoke screens too, Tim, is just attack the blocker and drive him back into the play. It's almost the equivalent to attacking the mesh point on a zone read. Just create havoc at the catch point, you know?
Absolutely.
And you know what?
He's not afraid to be close to the line of scrimmage either. And
if you drive one of their players back into the play, that's not pass interference. He's not the receiver, right? He's out there blocking, so to the best of my knowledge. But yeah. So and the fact that he tackled Kelsey too, you know, that's not an easy player to tackle. All right, up next. So now they're going to show a little motion here. You know how the Chiefs like to get creative. They're on the 6-yard line, so well within the 10-yard line, and they got another bunch nasty X look. Now they're going to they're shifted from quad left to bunch nasty X. And again, where's our boy?
Hobbs is basically playing linebacker here.
Yeah. So what he did was he motioned over, didn't he, Tim? And he's looking to cover this guy out of the backfield, which is that Mecole Hardman, number 1?
No, I thought Hardman was.
I can't remember what his number was. He may have been hurt last year too. It seemed like he did miss some time.
I thought he was 9, maybe.
So they're trying to decipher this whole play, right? Everybody's trying to decide who they got, right? Who's got this guy's just kind of hanging on for dear life because the 3 DB is lined up on the 2, which makes the 3 and Kelsey free right now, right? How is he going to get to Kelsey, right? Let's watch what happens out of the backfield. So they're trying to set it up.
Wow.
So that arrow route or whatever you want to call that arrow route, what's it called? A shoot route. So that's a shoot route. For those of you who are wondering, when you hear us say shoot, that's what I call it. Yeah, I've always heard it called. If it's a swing, they'll swing out, right? If it's a flat, they'll kind of attack the flat. But on a shoot route, they just go diagonally, straight toward the pylon top look. So watch Hobbs through traffic again, right? Look at the finish,
that, dude.
Bang. Ball
he
out.
Was all over that before the ball even was released.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he sniffed that out a mile away.
So again, this is what you're seeing. The strength of his game is attacking the underneath stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, and it was a dead giveaway when he goes in motion when they bring him into the backfield, right? Pat Mahomes goes, okay, that's my man right there. All I need to do is make sure that he gets hung up in traffic, which he did. And then you think that Pat Mahomes saw a touchdown right there. Like,
it was a touchdown.
Yep.
It looks like one, doesn't
it? Look at that right hand at the end. Bang, incomplete now. That's a completed pass if he doesn't finish this play. Look at catch, turn, bang, ball comes out. Great defense.
And not only that, Tim, if he doesn't break the way he does here too, man.
Yeah, it's a walk-in.
Yeah. Like watch how quick he breaks on this play. Recognize it right there. Pat Mahomes has not let go of the ball yet, and he knows exactly where he's going.
He said, I have got to get a move on.
Bang. Really, really like how he plays underneath. I want him in the slot, guys.
He's going to fit in perfect with this defense, guys. Yeah. I mean, this is what we do, right?
Yeah. So now the battle becomes, there ain't no battle, right? It's going to be Keyshawn Nixon on the outside, one side, Carrington Valentine on the other, and Nate Hobbs in the slot's what it's feeling like. It really is. So if that's the case, then you got Bull coming out of the bullpen in the slot, playing a little safety. If who knows, he may beat Evan Williams out this year. It might really click year 2. It might. So how do y'all feel about that? Do you think Hobbs is going to be in the – we'll talk about it after Chalk Talk.
I feel like some more big nickel, baby. Let's get them all out there.
Now, right when I said that, people are going to hold up. Now he's on the outside, Clayton. What's the set? What's the personnel? Notice it. That looks like a tight end to me right there. This probably a tight end, might be a running back. That's definitely a tight end. So at a bare bones minimum, it's 12 personnel, right? One running back.
The guy on the line's got to be Darnell Washington, right?
Got to be.
Top there. So
look at the hips on that guy. That's got to be Darnell Washington. thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. So to me, this is at least 12. It might be 13. So again, that's why Hobbs is on the outside, right? So when we go to our base 4-3, when we're matching 12 or 21 personnel, he's going to stay on the field and play outside, right? And they'll probably pull either Keyshawn or Carrington off the field, you know. And you know how I feel about it. I want Carrington on the field. Keep him out there, you know. Yeah. So and here's the other thing. I mean, based on the money that they've paid Hobbs, he's going to be on the field for nickel and base, right? There's no doubt about that. The question is, who comes off for base defense, our base 4-3? Is it going to be Carrington or is it going to be Keyshawn? That's going to be the question. Let's see what happens here on this. So he's covering the 1, right? So it's a run. Okay, all right. Now we're getting into a couple of run stops. All right, let me set this up for you guys because it's going to be fun, man. So again, they're in a run personnel, right? Run heavy personnel with a 12 or a 13 look, depending on the personnel that they got on the field. So watch Hobbs play this run. All right. Get him get in here. Patient. Bang. He finishes. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah, but get that head up, Nate. Keep that head up.
Yeah. Watch the Steelers stripe on his helmet bounce back right here. See his head? Like Hobbs laid the wood right there. Watch the Steelers helmet. Yeah.
Coming from 10 yards back, nonetheless, too.
Yeah. But you see how he's still patient? Like, it'd be real easy just to try to attack the inside. He knows I got to contain outside. I'm kind of the last level of defense. So you're playing corner, but it's almost like safety, you know?
Right.
So.
Oof. I don't know that. I love it, but that looks awfully similar to Nick Collins' last play he ever played type of hit here. Keep that crown of that helmet up.
Yeah. All right, next play. So now we're back against the LA Rams. Looks like he's lined up on the 2. It's going to be a running play to Kyron Williams in the middle. Look at him attack. He played that like a linebacker, boys.
He just didn't even care about the dude coming at him to block him. Nope, I'm going right. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, poor Tutu Atwell, right? He didn't know what to do. He's like, my guys, watch out. That's one of those watch out blocks. But look at him get in there, boys. Love it. Kyron Williams had a good – I'm pretty sure it was Kyron Williams. He had a pretty good year last year too. All right, here we go again. Look at him attack the run. Bang.
He's like, dude, I've seen that motion before in film.
Yep. So he's covering the 2. They motion over, no hesitation. Let's just attack the football. So I'll tell you this, man. Our run defense is going to be – it's definitely not going to be worse than it was last year where we were the second best run defense in the league. It's not going to be worse than it was last year with the Nate Hobbs signing. It could get worse, but it's not going to be because of him, man.
Right.
One of his strengths is definitely his physicality. He plays the cornerback position like safety. He really does.
And I'm super happy he can perform like this close to the line of scrimmage. I know everyone's been begging for that, but the fact that he's not afraid to, 1, get down and dirty in the trenches, and then 2, able to man up a dude when he's, in bunch or nasty, but, within 5 of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. So, again, who was it said in there? He avoids Ed Madden said he avoids blocks well. He really does, man. Again, that's kind of that fearlessness, right? Like just navigating through big bodies, So there you go. That's Nate Hobbs Chalk Talk. I thought it was fun, man. Again, you don't see him giving up big plays very often. His passer rating when targeted, I think, was 71 according to NFL Pro. Gave up what was it? He gave up? Was it 1 touchdown? I can't remember now. I think he might not have given up any touchdowns, but really, really good passer rating when targeted. I'm not sold on him being an outside corner in the nickel. I think he fits the slot in our nickel 4-2-5, and then play him outside in the base type thing. But let me ask you guys that as we get ready to wrap up. What's your take on that? Where do you think Nate Hobbs fits in the best? How would you like to play him? Start with you, Emilio. Where do you want him lining up at? Do you think there's a chance he plays outside in the nickel or no?
I would say at this moment, no, just because I'm hoping Carrington is that kind of guy. I think that he's, made a name for himself, but I think that it could be a rotation. Yeah, Keyshawn got a lot of reps last year, but if they like Hobbs, if they can kind of move those guys around, I think Hobbs coming in from the slot to go outside, he can handle that 2-way go. Where Keyshawn kind of got hung up on some of those 2 ways. I think that they're going to kind of want him in that slot, especially, they wouldn't be afraid to have him in running and passing situations based off what we just saw.
Yeah. What about you, Tim?
I agree. I think Keyshawn should stay on the boundary. And if we're going to have a rotation, it should be Bullard and Hobbs in the slot for sure.
Got it. Ed Madden says CV boundary, Hobbs slot, Nixon outside.
Yep.
I like it. So he's saying Nixon field side, Hobbs in the slot, and CV on the short side of the field. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, man.
And thank you, Gangster Goody, for the free agent acquisition. We appreciate your service. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, I don't expect him to be like a number one corner. I don't. But for the price, and we talked about that, it's really a 2-year deal is what it is. And, based on the prices across the league, I think it's a pretty damn good deal on him for sure. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun to see how he plays. And you feel a lot better about the fact that, Bullard played his best football last year in the slot, right? He played way better in the slot than he did safety. It's just based off of my, me watching the tape. You feel really, really good knowing that Bullard is now the backup slot. If you do get banged up, you're in a spot where, like, let's say Carrington gets injured, right? Okay, Nate, we're going to have to play you outside. Bring Bullard into the slot, So,
or we talked about Bullard kind of struggling a little bit at safety with the coverage. If we had an issue with the injury at safety, we could always kick Hobbs back there, put Bullard in the slot. Hobbs has played the safety position before. So there's that versatility factor.
Right. Yeah. United Base says, Greg, cross your fingers. I'm going to gift some memberships, and bang, he did it. Gifted 10 Packer Fan Total Access memberships. Guys, I told you the other day, I had some people asking, hey, can we get back in on the giveaways? Because they don't contribute on Patreon. They're contributing on YouTube. We're going to get back to doing that. So listen, you want to give people what they want. And when you got multiple listeners, multiple viewers saying, hey, can we get back in on the giveaways? We did that. I've explained it 5,000 times, and I know some people are going, please don't explain it again, but there might be someone new in here. When we do the giveaways, anybody who's a member of the Patreon group, we put your name on a wheel, we spin it, and give away memorabilia. This week, we're going to be giving away an autographed Kingsley Enagbare card this weekend, okay? A rookie card. In the past, we would include people who were members here on YouTube. You can just hit the join tab, and you can become a member here on YouTube. You get access to custom PTA emojis, things like that. But it also got you entered into the contest. We pulled away from that because the channel got demonetized for a short bit, and everybody just lost their memberships. And I felt really bad about it. I'm like, man, that's crap. So let's create somewhere where that doesn't happen again, and everybody will, that's what Patreon's for. So I will always say, if you can choose Patreon over being a YouTube member here in the channel. But the YouTube members, we're going to start including you guys back in the giveaways again. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go back to doing that. So, Bates, thank you so much for doing that, buddy.
And Clint, the armchair quarterback, also gifted 10 right behind that.
Oh, nice. Let me throw that up there. Appreciate you, Clint. You are the man, dude. 10 memberships. Thank you so much, bud. All right, boys. Anything else y'all want to hit on before we wrap up? Man, this was fun. And we'll get into LVN Chalk Talk tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll have some other topics as well. Anything else?
I'm excited to see Hobbs. Right, Tim? Excited to see Hobbs get out there. And like I said, I kind of want to see if Hafley's going to rotate him a little bit more than we think. I don't know if Nixon's always going to be on for all 12, 1,500 snaps we have. I don't think Key's going to be on for all 15. I think that it's going to be a little bit of a team effort. Like Clay was talking earlier, maybe we do bounce him outside if we're in base. Really just kind of depends on what we're thinking, what we're feeling.
I would fully expect to see those kind of looks at camp and then going into preseason for sure. And having a guy like Nate Hobbs and the versatility factor will allow Hafley to work in Kalen King, work in some of these younger corners into the mix and see what we have going into week 1. So I would expect, camp and preseason games, we should see a heavy dose of rotation for sure.